Been in the ones and twos.
Right on. So that was called 658. This is Rock Bottom. Come and get your love. We're KUAM FM 93.9. It's The Breeze. And let's head into the KUAM News Zoom room here where we have the chair of the Guam Education Board, Ms. Maria Gutierrez. Good morning, Ms. Maria.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chris, Sabrina, and Jason, and everybody there. Thank you.
Thank you. I know you were getting hungry earlier when we were talking about fried rice.
You are making me hungry.
So what's your go-to fried rice recipe, Mrs. G?
It's a secret. I'll make for you guys one of these days, but I want to tell you what's in there. I heard you make good fried rice, Chris.
I try, Mrs. G. So, we brought you on here, and let's just get right into it. First of all, we just wanted to congratulate you for winning the Distinguished Service Award from the National Association of State Boards of Education. You won this award for exceptional leadership and dedication. This is really cool, Mrs. G. Just tell us when you got this, how humbled were you that you were selected by NASB for this distinguished award?
I am very humble. Because to get this, it's really, they call it the Distinguished Service Award, which is the highest award that the National State Board of Education gives to state board members. And you have to be nominated by your state board, and there's 6 criteria that you have to meet. And you are the one that the group that reviews this is the whole 50 state members. And I've been on the nomination for a committee for NASB, but in another category, and it's a very very competitive. And I just feel very honored because it's the first for Guam. I've been on the Guam Education Board as far back as when it's called Guam Territorial Board of Education, and and this is the first for Guam. I've been asked before, but I feel I wasn't ready. I felt that it's not recognition that I want. It's just to do what I love to do, and the passion is to advocate for the students and the parents. So when I started on the Territorial Board of Education, I was a parent advocate. I attend the meeting, and it bothers me when I sit on the sideline, and I wanted to voice my concern, but it's like you're ex officio. You don't have much privilege. And I finally got to the point that I had to lobby with the legislature. Excuse me.
You okay, Mrs. G?
I lobbied with former Congresswoman Madeline Bordalio, who was the chair on Senator Committee on Education, and so she introduced the bill, and Governor Gutierrez was one of those that also was on that a senator at the time, and so they passed that. We're a parent, a rep on the board, and I included a student. So the student and the parent were voting members, because I feel that student voice is also important. So from that on, I just feel that because I'm a very difficult parent when my kids are going to school. I have a lot high expectations from the school, and I finally, I told myself I have to be part of the solution. I cannot continue to be a parent that complains. And my kids went to Wedding Gale, Binabenti. They did middle school before, now Binabenti and JFK. I tell you, those teachers, those administrators know how hard I am, because I will go there and tell them everything that I am not happy. And I asked them, I said, we need to meet halfway. So from that time, I just have this thing that I have to do it. And it's not recognition. And last week I was showing Jason a book. 1994, I still have it. And his dad was the keynote speaker for a summit that's called Improving Direction for Schools and Public Dialogue. And from that time, I just, so this award It's a very prestigious award. It's a crystal heavy.
Nice.
Wow.
It's not for me alone. It's for the students, the parents, and the people of Guam. And I want my grandchildren and my great-grand and my families for supporting me. Because without that support, I would have given up. But I told myself, no, I'm not going to depend on anyone to do it. I have to do it. So that's why when I got this I got the email on September 23rd. And the time difference in Washington, D.C. and Guam is like 3 o'clock in the morning. I opened my email. That's the time I wake up and check my email, whether I have a meeting with NASB. And I saw this email and said, congratulations, Maria. And I had to put on my bifocal. And I kept reading it. I took my small magnifying glass. I cried.
Oh.
I was so touched and tears that to receive this award, I'm very honored. And I just want everyone to know that are listening on this link, because I know a lot of people, even in the States, my granddaughter, my son are listening, watching, that this is for the people of Guam, for the students, the parents, and the DOE employees that have been there to always support me, even though sometimes I'm really hard. I've had, like I say, have high expectation. Thank you for the support. Thank you. You, Sabrina, Jason, and Chris, you were just little kids when I started this, 1991, up to now. And I will continue. Because, I'm going to read something here. Somebody sent me, and they said, this is for you, Mrs. G. Always think of this. Who's been through a lot this year, but can still say, I'm grateful that God has kept me. And I'm very grateful that God continued to give me that support and make me strong to serve the students of Guam, the Department of Education. And so on Thursday, which is Guam time, October 23rd, at 6:30 in the morning here, it will be a virtual conference presentation of this award. So I just got my email today telling me all the instruction, how to get on, and so I have to practice to make sure. It's an honor, and there's only 3 every year that receive this award. Wow. So one of them is from Mississippi, Dr. Kelly, and the other one is from Maine, Dr. Hess. And here's Maria Gutierrez with nothing in the front, but Mrs. Gutierrez.
Yeah,
but I'm proud.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're proud of you too.
Congratulations.
This is really an honor, and like I say, I'm receiving a lot of congratulatory message, letter, and I want to thank the Guam Federation of Teachers, because they sent me a very touching letter that during my leadership as chair, they were finally able to have their board union contract signed for how many years they were waiting. And then I had this other congratulatory from a group of students. And those are former students that when I was still on the board. So I just want to thank everybody. But this award is for the people of Guam, the students, the parents, the employees of DOE, and everybody. It's ours. It's not mine alone.
We have a lot of.
I just want to thank once more my family, my kids who stood by me.
Right.
Sometimes I'm too busy to make dinner for them or make breakfast. I'm already doing my thing at the school. Way back, sometimes I go to the school early in the morning at JFK just to pick up the trash, because I see trash and I don't want the kids to come on the Monday and have that trash there. But that's just my passion, my love. Yeah. And I'm committed, because we're up for election. I will continue. I'm not going to say I'm going to build a better education for kids. I'm just going to say I'm going to do my best, because I don't want to promise something and then I won't be able to do it. I will do my best, and I will continue to support. And so the superintendent of education, I know he's listening because he said he's gonna be on the show, and all the employees of DOE and the students and the parents. And I ask the parents to please be patient. We're going through a lot of a lot this time. It's very different. I've told a group of teachers that I was used to the typhoons after we have this typhoon season, but this pandemic is totally different. So I just want to ask the parents to please work with us, be patient, call the school, and if they're not answering you, there's a hotline that was put out. We are all in this together, and we'll come out successfully. But let's not go out there and because sometimes it's just a lack of communication.
Right.
But we just have to work together. We're one family. We're one family, and we are all for our kids. So,
Mrs.
Sabrina,
G,
Jason,
I want to just
for bringing me in this.
Of course.
Because I just want to explain that.
Mrs. G, let's go through some of the comments here. Yeah. We got Chamarita Ray just writes, congratulations, Mrs. Gutierrez, a well-deserved award for your dedication to our students and parents. Christina Bautista writes, I love this lady. Quote, treat all students like they're your own child. End quote. That's a quote from you, Mrs. G, at the safety conference in 2018. Anita McHale writes, you deserve it. Mrs. G, Mary Rojas, well-deserved. You do a great job. Jay Anituk writes, congratulations, Mrs. G. Thank you for all your support and standing up for all of our GDOA team. Rosemary Laguatna writes, congratulations, Maria. Continue forward with more passion and faith. Teresa Metabusan writes, Biba. Mrs. G, I want to ask, because this is, I feel like it's critical, right, when you talk about your work on the board, and we've seen the political interference in the past, and I know in just talking with other board members that you guys are concerned that a lot of candidates who are basically going to be, puppets for Adelup are throwing their names on the ballot for the Guam Education Board. So how key is that, as you guys have been really able to maintain a lot of independence? And we've seen where even some of the governor's appointees to the board have gone against, her stances. So are you guys at all worried about this election and how it could change the complexion of the education board?
I am not, because in education, politics is not a place for education. And that's why all candidates, when we pick up our packet, it says here we're nonpartisan. So regardless of what party you are, when it comes to education, I'm sorry, it has no business in education. And I was on the board, Territorial Board of Education with, and I have no ill feeling to my primo, Governor Gutierrez, that he, we were sued under his, when he was the governor, but we prevailed because of the Organic Act. So politics is dangerous in the education of our children. And I have been on the board where they were appointed, and elected. And we worked together as a team, because once the lawyer, and I remember one of my colleagues during one of his confirmation hearing when he was really grilled, where is your loyalty? Because he's appointed by Governor Calvo. And I stand behind him because I said my loyalty is to the children. And I remember when and so it's really, I hope that those new ones that are coming in, that we have one mission, is our children, not our politics, regardless of who appointed us, them, or what. Because I respect the appointees. I've never, we're all one team. And so we have to know politics doesn't belong in the education of our children. It's very dangerous. And because we are here to serve the children. And when I was going to, just an example, Superintendent Fernandez called me out because I'm very critical of the food that's being served at the schools. So he asked me, he said, Mr. G, you want to go eat lunch? I said, where? I thought he was going to take me to one of the fancy restaurant, expensive restaurant, right? He said, meet me at PC Lujan. So we went there. And we sat down, and the kids are really smart. You can say, right. Mr. Fernandez, who's your boss? And John said, right there, the lady. Yeah. And he told the kids, told the kids, ask her who's her boss. And you know, these are elementary kids. Said, excuse me, ma'am, who's your boss? I said, all of you. Oh
There
my
you
gosh.
go.
He said, oh my goodness, I'm going to give you a raise. You're my boss. And honestly, you know, maybe if you could say, they're telling each other, hey, that's, you know, we're the boss for that lady. And, you know, so that's to me is,
Yeah.
and I just want to make sure that, you know, I welcome if I make it back. I welcome. I will work for anyone. But we have to stand up for employees.
Right.
And, you know, one thing that I'm known is I stand up.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just stop because I was at Payless last week. I just have to go there to get something. I did wear my mask, and this lady came to me. I don't know who she is, and said, "Ma'am, I know who you are." I said, "Really? Thank you." She said, "Don't worry, just continue what you're doing." And the daughter that's with her said, "I always see this lady on the TV." I saw this lady. And I saw her in my school. So, you know, that's why I could not stop. I have to continue.
I gotta say,
thank you.
Maria, congratulations. Really, you know, you like you
Thank
said,
you.
you've been the longest serving board member over on even when it was the Guam Education
And
Board.
honestly, this Crystal Award is ours.
Right.
It's not Miss Gutierrez. It's ours.
But you've always been a fighter. You've been feisty, but you've also been fair. So thank you so much for your leadership on the board. And I know Chris was talking about this possible challenge with the Adelup trying to push their people on the board. But, you know, you also have this Education Supervisory Financial Committee. And one of the last meetings that I watched, you were vehemently opposed to the continuation of this board because there's sort of this overlapping of responsibilities. And I know that you guys had appeared before the legislature to bring that issue forward. And I wanted to ask you, you know, what is the status of that debate? And hopefully amending that law that created it way back when the Department of Education was having issues with management of its federal finances.
And I was on that board when the late Senator Pangilinan introduced that. So what we did in the last meeting, we have a new board member and who used to work with the different senators, a very familiar, very energetic member, Lawrence Acario.
Okay, yeah.
So I asked him if he would take the lead in working with Senator Joe San Augustine to please, because, you know, in that composition, the director of budget and finance over the legislature is a member, to please work on that, because we were at an informational hearing when one of the commission member said that we are overstepping our boundary. And, you know, all the years that I have been on this board, this is what we've been doing, adopting the budget of DOE. So Lawrence will be able to provide us information on our meeting this Friday, but we're working on that. Yeah. And, you know, so yes, thank you for that. And thank you again. And call me anytime. I'm always to listen to your show.
Mrs. G.
And when I make that fried rice, I'll text Chris.
Right on. Bring it,
Thank
Mrs.
you.
G.
Hey,
Mrs. G, before I let you go, I know that you had saw that story that we reported on involving the parent, right, who was having problems with the hard copy distribution and pickup, and she was saying that her child had turned in assignments, but because of the COVID-19 protocols, those assignments weren't given to the teacher, affecting the grade. What would your message be to parents out there about the hard copy distribution and just all the challenges that are being presented by this new way of going to school?
There's a lot of challenges, and I was just with the National State Board yesterday morning on Zoom, and a lot of the school districts are facing the same issues. So I just asked them for their patience, and Superintendent Fernandez and his team are addressing this issue. And I understand right now there's a lot of stress, anxiety, worries from the parents, even the teachers too. So we just have to work together and be patient and let's communicate. Because I think sometimes it's just a lack of misunderstanding, miscommunication. But in the end, it's all for our kids. So Mr. Fernandez and his team are addressing that parent and all the other parents that have been issues. And that's why we're having this daily, monthly or weekly Zoom virtual meeting to all the parents leadership. The parents can join that. Please, during this time, por favor, comprende, just patience, and because this is it's very difficult. Even me, I only have great grand here. Great grand and great grand, but even that, I always tell my kids, my grandkids, the parents, be patient because teachers too are going through a lot. They also have families and they have to take care. So we have to work as a team. We cannot be at each other. We have to work as a team. But I just hope that whoever out of that 10 prevails on November 3rd, that we're in for the students. We're not in for any politics in the Department of Education because it is danger. It is danger for our kids. We need to support them and take that away because it's not, it's not.
Well, thank you again, Miss G, for coming on. And again, congratulations. I'll leave you with this. Teresa Camacho, she says that she's such a sweetheart. So thank you for coming on. And again, congratulations. But please don't be fooled, people. She may be a sweetheart, but when it's time to get real, she can get gangster. That's what the G stands for, Mrs. G. All right, when it comes to fight, see?
They step aside. Okay, we understand. I'm in business. I think it was just that I value the education because, I grew up where my parents are not English speaker. And I had to struggle at St. Francis just to learn because my mom and my dad cannot help me because they don't speak English. Yes, if there's Japanese, I'll be the valedictorian for Japanese class. But I had to struggle, and I value the education, and that's the same when my kids start. I didn't expect them to be up there, to be on the top 10, but I expect them to have a good education because it's for their own good, as for their success. And I'll tell you, they mentioned about the student leaders. A lot of the student leaders that were with me have been calling me Mrs. G. Thank you. I'm in college, and my resume of being an IBOX leader, Island Board of Governors student, have helped me. And I'm very proud of them. I said, it's not for Mrs. G, it's for you. So this is just what I love. I don't have any hobbies at home. The only one that I spend time with is my pit bull, my puppy. But other than that, this is what I love. Right. And with this pandemic, it's really frustrating me because I could not get out. I cannot go to the schools. Yeah. And that's what I love about this. Just going there, just talking to the employees, talking to the administrators. And I'll find time when I put something happening at the school that I'll be there because you just want to show my support. And that's how it is. This is what I love to do. As I retired, nothing else. I love this. So it's my passion, and I don't think it's going to go away. And also, I know that there's a guardian angel behind me, my sister Anita, that's always pushing me because we have the same passion.
Thank you, Mrs. G.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody. Thank you to the people of Guam.
Algamos.
Again, this award is out.
All right.
Mrs. G, make sure you grab some virtual Buchi on your way out of the Zoom room. That's Bree's recipe.
Hey, wait, I'm gonna make my mochi.
Okay.
Whoa!
Okay. Right on.
Accepted.
Thank you, Mrs.
Morning.
G. Tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, Esther. Okay. Okay, Mrs. G.
Not the mango pie yet. The mango pie have to be in a good mood.
Okay, Mrs. G.
Okay, thank
Esther.
you. Adios.
Okay, Joss. 7:22. Good morning.
G.
Wow, so you write that down, right? Put that in her calendar.
Yes.
Mochi tomorrow, fried rice. She didn't say maybe next week.
She has to be in a good mood to make
The mango pie. Fortunately, I've been able to try that mango pie and
Don't
caught
be
her in a good
naughty,
mood.
Chris. All right.
Too late. 7:23. We'll take a short break. Coming back with we have Christine from the Chamber, and then we'll get Janice from American Music coming up here.